We go. Hello everyone, how's it going? Team here, and this is BxJS dev stream, and we are continuing the task manager project. So I actually wanted to stream yesterday, but Vodafone decided that I don't actually need internet, so I spent like 24 hours without any internet at all, which was a fun experience. But anyway, we are back to the task manager. Hey Wise, welcome to the stream. Hey Monira, welcome to the stream. Hey Marina, welcome to the stream. Hey Vias, welcome guys. All right. Task manager, last time we actually set up the project and added authentication and authorization, which was like, the very basic functionality. So now we're finally getting to doing things that are, closer to the core functionality of the task manager. But before that, as someone rightfully noted in the Discord server, I think, we should add the ESLint and some rules, because there's been quite a few errors that have not been caught during my previous coding session, where I guess they would have been caught earlier. What is going on? The errors would have been caught earlier had I enabled ESLint in the first place. I kind of got used to the fact that Create React App, for example, has the ESLint setup out of the box, so I completely forgot that you had to do it manually for Next. So we're going to start with that, and then we're going to do the, I guess, implement the basic layouts and at least the workspace creation. We're going to see how far we go from there. But yeah, this is kind of the plan for today. Hey Eric, welcome to the stream. Anyway, let's start with ESLint. And I think I'm just going to go to my graffiti framework over here and just copy the ESLint RC from here, because this is what I typically use. My cat is also absolutely destroying some kind of paper over there. So if you hear weird noises from the background, that's it. Okay, I'm just gonna copy the whole thing for now, and after that we need to actually install the ESLint packages, right? So I'm typically using the ESLint config standard, and then prettier, and then basically whatever the plugins those three need. So okay, first of all, nvm use okay, wait a second. NVM ls, we need NVM use, what is it called? Stable, I think, right? There we go. That's right. So we need to switch to 14. Sorry, why is it 15 stable? That's not stable. NVM alias stable v. I mean, technically 14 is stable, but I want this. NVM use stable. There we go. 1410. Okay, NPM 6. Good. NPM 7 got better over the past couple of weeks. Like, they fixed a whole ton of bugs with the resolution, but it's still not quite there. So I'm just going to stick with NPM 6 for now. All right, so we are going to install ESLint config prettier, ESLint config standard, and then whatever the plugins that they basically need. So that should cover the very basic setup. Again, I really like the fact that with NPM 7, you don't need to install those plugins because they are peer deps and they just get installed anyway. I believe we also need prettier in this case. I'm just going to install all of that. Tim, you should make your own ESLint config sometimes, so you can just install it and tell ESLint to use it. I'm too lazy for that, man. Like, my ESLint config is literally just standard with longer maximum lines and a bunch of properties disabled. So it's like, whatever. It's like, I don't need a separate config to do that. And especially not to maintain and update that for the, future versions and stuff. So, nah, I think I'll pass. So we want browser here as well. Okay. NVM use node uses 14 for me. Well, I, just alias it to stable, and that's fine. Hey, Major Malfunction, welcome to the stream. Seems like every project we're copying the config and plugins and all that. I mean, that's fair enough, but normally I don't really create that many projects in my day-to-day life. So that's, I guess this is the streaming anomaly. Maybe I should create some config for streams, but I honestly just dread the thought of, configuring that stuff every time and updating it. So, yeah, so how was our... Okay, come on, initialize the stuff. ESLint, are we running? Yes, we are running. Seems like it is working indeed. This stuff works. This stuff works. Okay, so what if I do this? Okay, yeah. So we got exports DB. That should, yeah, okay, cool. So it highlights it as expected. We got the ESLint running. I guess I should, whoa. Talk it to the left, please. I should just commit that, right? git commits add basic ESLint setup. There we go. Okay, cool. Right, I should probably add the pre-tier RC as well. Pre-tier RC, because my pre-tier config is typically slightly different from the defaults, which is not the, not that of a major thing, but I just prefer to have it all in one place, I guess. Git add, git amend, so just save it under the same commit. Cool, we're good. All right. Hey DXRonnie, welcome to the stream. All right, so we did the ESLint setup. That was a lot faster and easier than I kind of remember. I guess, again, I don't really set up ESLint that much, so, you only do this once, so I don't think it's a big problem, but yeah. Hey Swarlow, welcome to the stream. All right, back to the coding we go, to the actual functionality. First of all, I think I need to actually start Docker because I don't have it, right? So restart my MongoDB, which was closed. Problems of running VSL, essentially. To manage the services yourself, kind of. And then we can do npm run dev, and that should start our localhost. Right, I did remove the VPN that I had, so localhost 3000 started working again. So it was a VSL2 VPN collision issue. So we are now running on localhost. There's our absolutely terrible sign-in page, but for now it doesn't matter. We're gonna go with that. I think it was test gmail 123, if I remember correctly. Yes, I do. Okay, cool. So we're now logged in. We are now gonna work on our index page, right? So this is our index page. The thing is, I think, why are you not happy about the head here? What I just said, to avoid duplicating tags head, you must use key property, which will make sure only one head is defined but never used. What do you mean it's never used? There it is, right? What is going on here? This is the same head, right? Hey Donna, welcome to the stream. The restream chat, for whatever reason, doesn't understand the what do you call it? The YouTube emoji, but I can see them on the off screen on the YouTube chat. Why not set Mongo container to auto start on boots? That is a good idea, but I'm just, again, too lazy for that. I don't always need it, so that's like one of the things that I prefer my containers in development mode at least to stop whenever I don't need them. Okay, so what I'm thinking is, first of all, I don't know why the head is, it seems like it references it, right? Why is it not, how is it not, wait a second, what? Is it because we don't have React in the import React from Reacts? Is that what you want? No, that doesn't. Okay, so React is not defined. Okay, fine. Oh, right, because we don't have a React preset. Right, okay, this is the problem. So we need standard, wait a second, ESLint standard, because obviously we're not using the correct config because React works differently, so ESLint needs help figuring out how exactly that works. That is, I completely forgot about that bit. Okay, npm install ESLint React. Yes, so we installed that. And yeah, so we need the parser Babel ESLint. I believe I already have that. No, I don't. Okay, so we need that and we need this. Okay, let me just quickly do that. Yeah, this is, again, I just completely forgot that that is a thing. Standard React. Do I need standard JSX? I think for now we're just going to skip it and see if that works. I think this is not going to fly. So let me first, you know what? We probably should define the lint method here and just be like ESLint pages source. I think that's it, right? So npm run lint. Let me have a look at the chat. Is this Windows? Is the terminal working on Windows, or can you run Linux command from there? So this is the Windows terminal, like official Microsoft one. This specific tab is running the Windows subsystem for Linux, so it's technically Linux. So it's basically Ubuntu running inside my Windows, which is super neat. Okay, we need Babel ESLint. Now we're going to install the missing deps. Again, tags within the head don't have the self. No. The tags, like the syntax is 100% correct. I think it's just the ESLint problem. Okay, yes, we need to install that thing. I really like how ESLint basically tells you, hey, run this to fix it. That is super convenient. Okay, it's gonna take us a few more minutes to finish ESLint setup, but we're getting there. Okay, are we good now? Right, okay, React and scope, which is actually no longer true, which is quite amusing. React and JSX scope, so we can actually disable that because this is a very outdated rule, right? So it's no longer works for React 17. So we can just say, hey, this is off. There you go. Okay. There are some semicolons issues. That is fine. Head is defined but never used. Okay, so this is save this. Why are you still not happy with that? I am so confused. Interesting. So it's still not happy with my... Like, okay, so errors here, that makes... No, but we use component. I guess the prop validation. Okay, so the prop validation is missing. You know what? I'm going to change that to warning because I don't want to spend my time writing props, at least for now. We can switch that later on. Okay, so this is gonna be warn, right? So this now should be, so this is now fine, right? So we got our warning. Right, okay, loading is not used, that is expected. Why are you, what do you mean is not used? There it is, like literally can say, oh, is it because it's conditional? Is that what happens? But that shouldn't be the case, right? Wait a second. So I run lint. So we got now the problem and up. Okay, so this is a prop validation. API hello.js. Save that. Okay, so it's just the formatting. That is perfectly fine. What? Wait. I'm sorry, what? Oh, why did you go there? Okay. Fix that. Right. So head is never used. Loading. So this is correct. And then again, head. Why are you not used? What is going on? I mean, I kind of I want to ignore this, but it kind of bugs me. Okay, heads, Next.js. Let's just try to Google for it. Next.js heads, not unused variable, I guess. Variable. Let's just Google it. Maybe that will give us the have an unused variable. No, that's not it. It's inserting an element. Okay, let me just maybe do this. Unused variable, inserting head. No. Okay. Let's specify. ESLint. Are we getting there? No props. Okay. Page props. No, that seems... ESLint disable. No unused variable. Okay, so people just disable line? I mean, I guess that works, but... like, what? There's a rule that only allows JSX on JSX extensions. Is it though? But I mean, it doesn't complain about JSX itself, right? So this works perfectly fine. I think there was the standard JSX thing. What is, wait a second, this plugin React standard ESLint so let's try adding this npm install -d ESLint config standard JSX. Maybe that's what's missing. Maybe this is like a... I'm not even like this is the first time I'm seeing this kind of error. So weird. Okay, so we got standard JSX, and then standard React. Then we got the prettier. That's perfectly fine. Okay. We still have the error. There we go. Okay, so it was some sort of a standard JSX compat thing. All right. Hey, Tom devs, welcome to the stream. Next does not require you to import React, but ESLint does. Well, yeah, that's exactly why I disabled this JSX, React and JSX scope, right? So it's actually React no longer requires you to import it either, starting the version 17. Okay, so now we are good. So we still have this loading error, but that's perfectly fine. Okay. Git commits. Okay, fix ESLint. I guess I can just wait a second. Close this. I can just amend this because this is still just adding the ESLint. There we go. So we still got our, yeah, cool, okay. All right, back to the developments. Please start working now, thank you very much. All right, so we got our index page, right? And what we want to do is, we want to actually, well, okay, so first of all, let's actually use loading here. And I guess we can just say, for now, it's absolutely gonna be looking like garbage, but you know what, that's okay. We got this, and now what we want here is to do the full page layout, right? That will have, so as just as a reminder of the task manager thing we're building, the idea is that essentially it's going to have the layout like the Discord does, right? So you will have, so if I go to Discord and open the Discord app, we're going to have this 3 sections. One of them is the workspaces. The other one is the channels, or in our case, it's going to be tasks. And then we want to have this big section, which is going to be the task description, text, whatever, as well as the comments/discussion. So we want to build this 1-page layout that is going to be essentially, doing the main work for us, right? Using your aliases and loving it simplifies a lot. Yes, I think, like, I mean, it's not exactly my aliases because I picked them up from somewhere as well. But they are really handy and you get used to them really quickly. So yes, totally. All right, so we need, I think we actually need to, what do we need? So first of all, we need some styles that will, we do have the global style, right? Yes, so we need, there's our components. We need to say that our HTML and body is gonna be with 100% and height 100%. I think, like, I don't remember honestly how to do the full page layout. Probably gonna suffer now looking at me doing the full page layout CSS. Let's just Google it because I know I'm going to be bad at this. Is there like a Tailwind, maybe exactly like Tailwind layout somewhere? Flexbox grids? No, that's not it. I mean, maybe they have an example there somewhere. Tailwind toolbox, starter templates for Tailwind. 100 VA. Yeah, I mean, that's another option. So those are popular templates. No, that's not what we want. Full screen model, accordion, mega. Alerts, that's not what we want either. Okay, you guys saying 100 VH, I guess VV and VH here, right? So this is gonna make it be full H screen. Oh yeah, that's actually a really good point. But I mean, I still need, oh yeah, I can just do the apply thing, right? So a full and V full. So we can just do that, I think, right? Still like, okay, you complain, but that should be fine. Let's see, we got, so HTML is now, there we go, okay. V full, H full, right? So it still uses 100%. Is it H screen or H screen? Yes, I guess H screen and V screen is, yes, okay, so this is what we want. Let's do it the Tailwind way. Come on, recompile. There we go. Okay, so now we got this, right? So next thing we want, right, so it's our div thingy. I think this is, where's this coming from? Is it from our app component? No, it's not. But I think it always has the ID next, right? So we can just say this, right? And this should become the full screen as well. Come on. There we go. Okay, good. And this is already our div that comes from here. So, okay, so this div is also gonna be H screen, V screen, so this is a full screen. I mean, I guess we can just move the head out of it because, well, it's a head and it shouldn't be in there. Okay, and then probably it's a good idea to extract this into a separate component and just leave the pages, you know, be pages basically. Right, let me think for a second. So we're going to create a components folder, components, right? And then we're going to create the, let's call it layout. And we're going to create the index.js here. And I'm going to copy the whole thing here. Right, so how do I structure this correctly? Do I want a layout component or do I just want to... Yeah, maybe layout is a bad idea. I'm just trying to think, you know, what would be the easy way to do that. You know what, let's go with, rename it. So let's call it, not the layout, let's start with the sidebar, which is gonna be the... no, I mean, but we cannot actually pass the layout component to the app itself, right? Because we still have those pages that don't actually use it, like login or logout or registration or whatever. Those are completely different pages that shouldn't use it. So it should be used in, I mean, we're literally going to have one page there, so it doesn't matter, to be honest. Anyway, let's call it projects or maybe sidebar. You know what, let's call it sidebar. Why not? Okay. Export function sidebar. This is our sidebar thing, and return So for now, let's just do the markup basically, and later on we are gonna change the other stuff. Do you use Figma when you design a website? I'm not a designer. Like, I am absolute dog shit at designing anything. The best I could do is find some existing good designs and either use them in, you know, re-implement them in CSS, let's put it this way, or just use the designs that I get from the actual designer. So I am not a designer by any means. Okay, so in this case, right, so this is gonna be class name. So we want the full height, right? But the width is gonna be limited to, I don't know, like, what's it gonna be, like nrem or something? Let's try this. And then I'm gonna make it background black just so that we can actually see that. Sidebar, let's go like this. Okay, and then, yeah, I guess we're gonna leave this here. This is fine. Whoops. So, and then we're gonna say that this is a sidebar, right? Okay. And yeah, okay, so this, okay, we got the scroll, which is not what we want, which means I'm forgetting something. So this is the thing that we have, and that means that the layout is gonna be, what is it gonna be? So it's gonna be, first of all, it's gonna be overflow hid auto, yeah, hidden, right? No, but we shouldn't have any overflow. Figma is very nice to prototype. I tried Figma a couple of times, like I use it for my thumbnails, for example, in the, what do you call it? For this channel, for the YouTube channel, because the friend of mine who made me thumbnails made it in Figma, and I figured out how to work with thumbnails there. This is super convenient. I tried multiple times to use it as prototyping tool, and I just couldn't figure out all the things, but maybe I should give it another shot. But, you know, I never really tried the basically doing it properly, let's put it this way. Okay, sidebar. Okay, you know what? It shouldn't actually have width, right? So this should be just that, basically. Now, what I'm thinking is we should have, I guess, a grid definition, right? So the grid is probably what we want, which means that, let me think, grid row, grid template. So, right, okay, so it only has, I guess we need our own custom grid layout. And this is what we need to do. Okay, so I'm gonna go to Tailwind config. I'm gonna say extends. So we got this grid templates, right? Simple 3 columns grid. Let's call it main layout, I guess, right? So repeat. Well, okay, so we cannot do repeats, and I need the CSS grid. Oh, how do you call that? There was a constructor for CSS grid that I used some time ago, and it was incredibly CSS grid builder or something. Like, there's a lot of those actually, and they work really well. So we need 3 columns, right? So the first one is gonna be like 30%. Yeah, that seems good. Second one is gonna be, I mean, maybe we can just, yeah, so we can start with pixels, but we can change this to EM or something to make it more flexible, I guess. Let's put it this way. This is gonna be like 200, so it should be like twice as big. And rows, so rows we're gonna have like auto, right? Yeah, okay. No, we actually just need 1 row in this case, right? Yeah, that's literally all we want. Okay. So grid template columns, and then we just say size, size, size. Okay, so grid templates. Okay, first of all, that should be columns. And second of all, it's going to be main layout. So it's going to be 10 EM, then 15 EM, and then 1 free. That should be our 3 column layouts. And this grid calls main layout. So I think that should do it. And there we go. Okay, so now this is correctly sized, right? So it scales. Now we got our 3 sections. So this one is the left one. This is 10 AM. Second one is the second one, obviously. So this is our task list, which I think we should probably just do here. So this is going to be name. I'm just gonna leave it empty for now, so just task list here, right? And then here is our one free, which basically takes all the rest of the space. And yeah, I think that does it for us. I mean, so basically we only have to care about properly sizing all those things. First of all, 10 EM is really big. We won't need that much. I guess maybe 6 EM or something. Are we better like this? Come on. Can you refresh now? Let me have a look at the chat. Flexbox could work. Yeah, Flexbox also would work, but the grid is just easier to do things like this, basically. Max width for sidebars. We'll adapt to the contents. 3 rows, like header actions. I mean, you could obviously do that with the Flexbox, but the grid is just a lot simpler, and in this case, more than enough. I think I'm going to go with like 4 EM. Come on. It's a bit of a pain in the ass to wait because the you have to rebuild the whole Tailwind thing when you change the config, but I think that's good enough for now, right? So we got this thing. Let me think. So we got our sidebar, and obviously this should be different. So what do we want here? We want shadow, maybe inner shadow or something. Would that look good? No, that looks absolutely terrible. Anyway, right, okay, you know what? That's fine. We can leave it, or I guess we can just go like black, the dark theme or whatever, right? Right off the bat, because we can implement the white theme later, I guess. So BG gray, we can go like 900. Just make it super dark. Yeah, that looks fine. And then text white, so that should be inversed. Cool. So add some padding. That's a bit too much, I guess. There we go. Okay, and now we need to create our... So since we're going for the same look that... Okay, we don't need that anymore. That helped us quite a bit. Since we're going... No, not Drive. Discord is what I want. Since we're going for the same look as Discord does, we are going to have those... check Discord. All right, I will do now. Tailwind components layouts. Oh, interesting. Is that a new thing? Okay. So this is a third-party thing. Yeah, that's fine. We can build our own. That's, you know, that's part of the fun for it. Okay, so we want to have those circular things that will have, I guess, icons in them, or have the text, like the letters, the first letters, right? So let's do this, I guess, right? And just start with that. So it's going to give us a div that has TM in it. Okay. Now we need to style it as the shape, right? So it's going to be BG gray. This is going to be a lot brighter, like 300 probably difference should be good. And then let's add some, padding, right? And then we want it rounded, I guess 3XL. That's a bit too much. 3XL, or I guess we actually want to make it the evenly sized, I guess 2EM and V8, something like that. Is that too small? Yeah, that is too small. Okay, so we actually wanted, so we had the 4EM there, means this could be like 3. Yeah, 3. Let's try 3. Does that look good? There we go. That looks better. Okay, almost there. Let me have a look at the chat. Local font with Tailwind is an example. Well, I mean, we don't really need local font. I mean, I don't care about the fonts. UI DevTools. I remember seeing... Oh, okay. DevTools for Tailwind. Okay, I have not seen that, but... Okay, so this... So what's the... This looks like your typical DevTools. What is going on now? Better tooling. Oh, okay. So this, you know what? That's okay. I don't want to spend time on that. Okay. I know that the DevTools can be very helpful, but in our case, we're not doing anything super complex. So, right. There was the, okay, one line layout was the website. And there was literally like 2 lines of CSS to center everything in the div. Please tell me it's still alive. I mean, I guess I can just say that this is gonna be flex and then flex no, wait a second. Justify center. And then, yeah, I guess, is that it? I keep forgetting what do you need to do. Okay, so this is the horizontal center. And then vertical center is align items, I think, right? Yeah, okay. Align, no. Item center, I think it was. Yeah, there we go. Okay, I think that should do it. There we go. Okay. Just refresh to make sure that my CSS didn't persist. Cool. Commit back changes to the code. Oh, okay. But that, like, I mean, the tools that commit changes back to the code typically require additional setup, which is just a pain in the ass to do. So I'm not a fan of that. So let's add some margin on top. Just to, no, okay, not margin. That should be padding top, right? So because margin will, yes, move that. And then, why is that? Let's just do padding too. Would that be good? There we go. Looks a lot better. Okay, so we got this thing. I should probably extract this into the new components. Let's call it project, right? So index.js, export function, project, return that. Okay. And then we're going to use props. So it's going to be project, and it's going to be project name. For now, just use that. Okay, so, and then here we're going to say project, import that from there, project equals name test. Okay. Right, that looks fine. Okay, so still sizing correctly, everything looks good. No, I thought I'd just share it, not saying you should use it. No, I mean, I'm totally up for using the right dev tools, but for now I just don't want to spend time on doing that, basically, because we're not doing anything super complex here. So, start typing with Tailwind CSS class. Also use local font with Tailwind. But why would you want to use a local font with Tailwind? Like, Tailwind has a pretty good typography setup already. Like, you could, of course, always use your custom font, but okay. Anyway, continuing, we did this thing. I'm thinking we should, yeah, so we should probably, first of all, Kat, what are you doing? Okay, let me think. So we want a special button here. Now I'm just going to copy that, and I'm going to add JS. So this is going to be add project, which is going to be a special case of this project thing. That is going to do, say, just a plus there, right? And we want to have it. Right, I'm probably not sizing this correctly, so we're going to see in a second. Cat wants to appear. Well, she always wants something. This is how cats work. Let's be honest here. Okay, so we need to, let me think. So we got this, let's do this. So this is going to be flex, and then we're gonna space between, how is it been space? Wait a second. What is the, I keep forgetting. Tailwind. Currently one line layouts no longer works, and I click too much. Okay, flex space between. Space X. Oh, okay, they changed it. Okay, that's new. Space Y6. All right, so we can actually, that's a lot nicer. Okay. Space Y, let's see, let's do 2 maybe. Is that good enough? Whoops. Oh god. Why is this like that? Oh, because it's right, flex, it should be flex column, right? There we go. Okay, that looks quite nice actually. Check screenshot in the Discord. What did you send there? CLS. No, I mean, I know you could do that, but again, it's like syncing DevTools back to the development environment is annoying as hell. Like, I don't really like doing that. I have to drop, enjoy the rest. Well, Swarlow, thank you for dropping by. That's, great to have you. All right, so we need to, first of all, I think this could be, so first of all, we can increase the size of this add thing and make it font, I guess text something big like 5XL. So that's your but where's my, there we go. That's a bit too large. Maybe okay. What about 3XL? Is there, That's better. Okay, maybe 2XL. Looking good. Yeah, there we go. So that looks good. This also probably should actually be button because we're going to be clicking them, right? So this should be like properly styled. There we go. Now it's a nice button. We should do the same to the project. We're going to change you to button because they are clickable. So it should be like all nice and cozy. Okay, outline should be removed. I believe this is focus, right? Outline known, if I remember correctly. Yep. Okay, so we need to add this here. I know that's not exactly good for the accessibility, but in this case, you know, it's fine for us. All right, so we got this thing. So now we need to line is too long. Why is my prettier not breaking it? That's weird. Yes, I mean, it should format it, right? Could have been. Okay, you know what? Whatever. That's fine. Okay, so we got this thing. Now we need to trigger. Have you heard about switcheroo? It simplifies switching between apps a lot. I mean, normally I don't switch that much because I have the preview on the other screen. But, you know, for streaming purposes, it's just not working. So I have to like tab a lot. Normally I don't really do this because it's just inconvenient, as you noted. But I have not actually heard about switcheroo. I will definitely change which outlets are control. Okay, you know what? I'm gonna move it off screen and just search for it after the stream because it sounds interesting. If it can simplify my life, it's great. Okay. Anyway, so we need to what do we need to do? We need to, first of all, we need to on the button press to show the model that will create the new space for us, right? So let's see, React model. I think there was a nice Windows like React model library somewhere. I don't remember if it's this one. React community. I mean, React community sounds like a nice minimal example. Hello. Code pen. Why is there a code pen prefix? I don't think that's a valid URL. Okay, let's try it this way. Maybe the Google, yes, there we go. So that's a weird. Are you still loading or what? Okay, it was still loading. Now we're working. Close. Yeah, okay, that looks good enough. So let's go with the React model thingy. So stop that. Add React model. All right, how do we use that? So import model. Yes, we can do that. Did you stop using uMatrix? I mean, I'm trying to live without it in basically waiting for it to completely stop working because of some additional changes that Google does to the, what do you call it? To the Chromium at one point, because I'm pretty sure they're going to break it at one point. I'm just going to leave it here so that it basically... Okay, so we got, I'm just going to copy this. I guess we should put it somewhere here. Okay, on after open, on request close. So we don't care about that. We do want styles, but not actually styles. We want... Okay, we get that's fine. Model is open, set is open. So on click here, we want to say that set is open to true, right? Or I guess should just toggle it, right? Well, that is not correct. Okay, there we go. It finally split the lines. All right, so we got, I don't care about the refs in this case. So this is our hello. On click close model. In this case, we can just say set is open. Just toggle that, right? Okay, cool. So theoretically, npm run dev. I forgot to start it. Theoretically, now we should have a model that will show. I mean, I honestly don't want to stop using uMatrix, but you know, since it's getting deprecated, kind of wary we will stop working at one point, so I have to figure out the ways to live without it, basically. So I'm seeing how bad it is to just use the uBlock, and so far it's actually been quite okay. There's some places that are loading a lot more than they used to, basically, but okay. React's app element is not defined. Use React modal set app element L. What the hell is that? I closed the docs. Okay. What is React model set up element? Oh, okay. Model set up element your model. Okay, so we need to do that. What was the name of the... I forgot. Wait a second. I know you're broken, but show me the page. Next, right. This is what I want. There we go. Are we good now? Yes, we are good. Okay, cool. So this now works. Close works. Okay. So we got our model. It looks like absolute shit, but we can fix that. Content label. What is the content label? Where is it actually goes? Is that like an accessibility thing or what? Yes, okay, it's an ARIA label. Okay, so create new project. Let's call it this way. Let's just stick to calling them projects, basically. Can I give it class name? Yes, I can. Okay, so you are gonna have... I wonder... Okay, let's see. Background black. So what is actually gonna get the background? Okay. All right. Is there like an overlay class names or something? Overlay class name. There we go. Perfect. So gray, BG, gray. Where's my... Oh, okay, right. Because it's not 900, so that should be this. Oh, okay. And man, you got... okay, then you have to position it yourself, which is mildly annoying. Is there a dark mode for it? Substyle, color, blah blah. How do you... Customizing default styles? Okay. Using CSS classes for styling. Okay, this sounds like exactly what I want. Set print width to 80 and pretty RC to have better line breaking. I mean, the problem again with line breaking is that 120 works perfectly fine when you got the big screen, and most people now do. The problem is for streaming, I have to increase the font size, so it's actually not what you typically use, right? So, and I don't want to change my settings for... I mean, I guess I probably should have this streaming set up at some point. Okay, let's see. React model, content label, class, overlay class name. Okay. Position fixed. Okay, so you basically have to provide the fixed and then top, left, right, bottom, whatever yourself, right? Which is a bit annoying that you have to do this, but that's fine. Okay, let's just say class name. So fixed, top 0, left 0, right 0, bottom 0, right? And then BG gray 900. And then this is gonna be overlay class names. So theoretically, that should now make our... Okay, right. And it should be also the opacity class name. Opacity, I guess 25 would work. Is that good enough? Oh god, okay, so it makes everything opaque. I guess we need our own custom color then, right? Colors. Tailwind has no model. Tailwind, I mean, that's a good question, actually. Does Tailwind has model? But the problem is that with, like, you still have to somehow... I guess it doesn't actually have models. So the problem with models is that it's not actually the CSS thing, right? It's a JavaScript thing together with CSS that you put together, basically. Okay, let me think. So we got this top left. Okay, so this basically just position stuff. All right, I guess, I mean, do I want an opaque thing? And say gray BG op... Oh, okay. Does it have a BG opacity class? BG... Oh, yeah. Cool. Okay. Let's try that. I don't think I knew about those classes, but thank you very much for a hint. Okay, 25 is a bit too little. Let's try 50. Is that better? Yeah, there we go. That looks quite nice. Modal tailwind component. Yeah, but that will give us like third-party components that typically have their own custom JavaScript. We don't need that. I mean, we can just build it. Like we almost built it already. Okay, so now this thing, and we want to make it actually flex, right? So this basically should do it. This should be flex, right? And then we can just take this and say that this is, let's say we make it fixed with like maybe 64, 8, half. Okay, you know what? Let's make it 64 as well. So if I do that, it looks terrible. Why does it look like this? I guess because it's not positioned. Okay. Flex items center, justify center. So just center everything within the flex. Right. So why is that not? Is it because I don't specify the background? EG gray 700. Oh, right. Okay. So it actually does its work. Okay, cool. I mean, I guess we can just go 900 as well and then do some padding and then do some, I mean, I don't think we need rounded, but probably adding some shadow would go a long way. There we go. A lot nicer. Text white. Okay. I'm not sure what happened. Okay, so this works. So now we just need to add some actual content here. So what we want here is create. I guess we can just do an input. Let me go to the tailwind and do form because they have some really nice forms here. They're just gonna take the form, take this, and okay, slash form. Right, input should be closed. Okay, so theoretically we should now have this. Okay, yeah, right, it's white, of course. We need to tweak this a bit. So this goes over here. This goes over here, right? We no longer need this styling for the form itself. I mean, I guess we don't need the form itself either here because we are doing one page app anyway. Okay, yeah, right. This does not look extremely well, but that's fine. We're going to change it in a second. So this is for, what do you call it? Project name, right? Project name. We're going to call it project name, ID project name. Project name, right? So label project name. Okay. Right, so there's class name. I should probably fix those issues. For, I believe it was for HTML4 or something like that, right? Yes, HTML4. It's still one of the most annoying bits about React that you have to like basically do this manually. Okay, new project, right? So we got this, and then there should be a button somewhere here as well, right? There we go. There is our, I guess 2 buttons would be good, right? Okay, and maybe we do h-auto, right? Now we got those 2 buttons here, class name. In this case, it's going to be create, class name, type button, class name, cancel. So, okay. I mean, still it doesn't really look like a dark theme, but it kind of works. All right, so the cancel button should just on click set is open to false. So they should set is open to true. And I guess set modal, let's call it set modal open. Just modal open, that's a bit nicer. Okay, there's some, yeah, like length issues, but that's fine. We're going to deal with that. All right, so we got this going. We got the project name, so this looks fine. So we need the button to be maybe a bit darker. Whatever, go 700 to 900. You're gonna look a bit more dark theme. Yeah, I mean, that looks fine, right? This still works. Test creates, that does nothing. Okay, so now we actually need to create. Right, so first of all, we need our ref to the project name ref. So this is gonna be project name ref, use ref. We're gonna use reference since we don't have to validate name or track it in any way for now. We're just gonna go with that. Okay, on click, this is gonna be create new project. Okay. And then we got our create new project. For now, I'm not gonna even do the callback, use callback or anything like that. So that's fine. Inset 0, bottom left. Oh, okay. That's a convenient thing. So wait a second. Whoops. Inset. Position inset. Top. I guess, yeah. Okay, cool. So we can just basically replace this whole thing with inset 0. That is very nice. All right. Yep, that works. Test. All right, so we got our create projects, which is gonna get project name is gonna be project name ref current value, right? Console log project name. All right, so theoretically, if we now press the create button, we should get project name test. Cool. Maybe it's a good idea to use pre-made color palettes. I mean, it is a good idea, but I don't think do they have the theme? I don't think they have the dark mode palette. Like they have the dark mode support where you can basically define it yourself, but we're gonna figure it out at one point. You know what? For now, that's fine. We're just gonna go with the default colors. They look okay-ish, like not amazing, but again, if you're a designer and you're watching this and you want to make this project look better, do feel free to send pull requests. I'm gonna, I'm highly appreciate that. I am also probably gonna ask my designer friend if he wants to make a nicer design for that. So, and if he does, we're gonna implement it on stream. But yeah, essentially, that's kind of, for now, that's okay. It works. It looks decent, so it's fine. Okay, so we are gonna be sending that stuff to the backend, right? And that means we need first of all, we need to send. Where did I use the fetch function last time? I don't remember. Did I use it anywhere? Yes, I did use it for registration, so we are just gonna go with that. Okay. So, right, it should be a sync. That is true. API, and then we're gonna... So it's gonna be project new, right? And then we're gonna post to it, and then body is gonna be data. Or I guess, yeah, that's fine. Let's go with data. Why not? Result, okay. And yeah, theoretically, okay, so first of all, we don't actually have the API here, so I'm going to rename hello to, right, okay, this should be in the project, right? And then there should be new. Okay, and then we're just going to copy the registers thing, paste it here. Okay, now we don't need hash here, we do need this name. Okay, and basically all it has to do is just get the project and create it for current user. That's another question. How do we get the current user? You should use Reduxios. Right, that is, I believe it was you who last time told me there was Reduxios that I was trying to remember, right? I completely forgot about it again. Thank you very much for reminding. We are going to switch to it in just a second. But before that, let's write the backend thing. Okay, so we got our DB. We got the users, so I'm gonna create the project model, right? Copy the user here, just insert it here. So it's gonna be project schema. All right, so project is gonna have a name, which is gonna be type string. It is gonna be required, and then it's gonna have a user. Is gonna be type object ID, and I believe this is. I believe you can just get it. No, wait a second. What was it? Oh boy, hell if I remember where you get it from. Was it no types, I think, right? It was types object ID. Types object, there we go, right. And required true. Okay, so basically for now the projects are only gonna have the user, and I think I defined the Mongoose. I defined the reference wrong, so we're gonna have a look at the documentation because we want to make this a reference, right? Object ID, blah blah blah. Types. I completely forgot how to do that. Where is it? Where is it? Come on now. Read the docs. Where is ref? I mean, populate. Yeah, populate. Yeah, there you go. Ref is what I want. Ref user, right? So we want to say story ref user. Yep. Okay, so we got this project schema, and then in DB we need to. Okay, so I think I'm just gonna split this and say that this is our schemas. Project schema require project, right? So we import our project schema. Imports project DB model projects, and then this is gonna be our project schema. There we go. That's good enough. Yes, thank you. I know the chat is lagging a bit and the stream is probably also delayed by a few minutes or maybe seconds, I guess, not minutes, but yeah, I tend to forget those things, so I look them up every time. Okay, so we got the project, right? New project. Okay, so we're gonna have a name. And then we gotta get the user from somewhere. So this is our problem to figure out right now. And I'm gonna comment this out for now. And we're gonna see what we actually get here in our request. Okay, right, I probably should have commented this out. All right. Yeah, okay, let's see if that works. Right, I probably shouldn't have restarted that. I think Next.js rebuilds the backend bits as well. Okay, task manager, reload that. So we no longer need React model thing. Not signed in, there we go. Test, create. Network, new pending, okay, something right, I didn't send any reply. That is absolutely correct. Okay, so what do we have? We got the body, so that works as expected, and actually that should be name, right? So rec body name, yes, we got that. So where is, how do I get our, I guess probably next-auth is a good place to read on how to get the authentication in the API, right? So this is how you get it in front end. How do you access models and schemas? No, that's not it. Configuration, client API, REST API. There we go. No, this is how you use it. How the hell am I supposed to get the user from the backend? Let's see. That is headers. I'm just not seeing it here. Readable socket, that's not what we want. Parser. Headers, raw headers. Clients, that's not it. Okay, so it doesn't seem like it lives in there, so I guess we have to extract it from cookie somehow. The only question is how. Session, doesn't seem like it has a session thing. So how do you example code? Maybe they have it in the example somewhere. Options, documentation, page index, pages app. So let me see. Maybe they have it on GitHub somewhere. Like they gotta have it in tests or something, right? Like if the docs don't mention something, the best place to look for it is tests. Integration, GitHub, Google. Okay, those are not what we want. DB, Puppeteer, MySQL, Mongo, Postgres. Okay, so not in tests. That's interesting. Okay, so API. How do you get this from API? Securing pages and API routes. There we go. There's a tutorial that for some reason is not in the docs. Server sides. Await get session. Okay, so there's a get session method that we can go get from there. There we go. Okay, so yeah, so we literally just call get session on there we go. Get session on request, right? On session awaits. Okay, so it's just a tiny helper. And then we get the name and session. Right, and then we can just send. Okay, for now I'm just gonna send something so that our browser doesn't hang. Right. Okay, we're good. So restart that. I think that should actually cover it. Yes, I know you failed. Come on. There we go. Runtime error. I'm sorry, what? Okay, now we're working. Good. Test. End. So there we go. Session user name null email. Okay, so when you have email there, where's my ID? No. Wait a second. Why is authentication? So why is my where's my ID? Credentials, email, password. Huh. Is there like a limited set of fields it supports? What is going on here? You want get ID. Why want I get ID? I need my ID. Is there like a separate config that you can tell it to basically session, JVT, max, JVT, example of JSON web token, name, email, picture, yet. Why won't I get ID? This is ridiculous. I mean, if I have ID, I can just use it to link to user, but if I don't have it, that means I have to have additional database lookup, which is just stupid. I mean, yes, I can do a Mongo lookup, but that's another query to database. Why would I want to do this when I can just store my ID in a session, which is like what I expected it to do? Why doesn't it store? Maybe I need to relog in. Maybe that's the problem. Let's try that. So let me just kill all my storage, right? Clear the data. Now we are not logged in, right? So application local storage is next-auth. Okay, so this is our. Okay, so it seems like it uses local storage as well as cookies. Okay, sure, fine. Sign in. Okay, no, that's a wrong email. 1 to 3, sign in. Okay, session token. So we got this token here. We got the local storage. And if we do this thing again, do we have name, null, image? Okay, so it still has this name and image fields that I haven't actually even specified. So where does it take it from? Yeah, but that means I have to manually do that, right? Like, what's the point in doing this with, like, come on, library should handle that. Since it uses the image and name fields that I don't even have, to be honest, so it has to take them from somewhere, right? The question is, where do they come from and how do I define them? You have to add it to session manually. That is ridiculous. Like, that cannot be true. I am pretty sure there should be a way to define those fields because I am not defining the name and image properties, right? So that cannot be right. Okay, credentials. I guess maybe it's in the provider's credentials. There we go. Maybe it's somewhere here. The user object. Okay, name, credentials, user. The credentials used to generate a suitable form. Okay, so this is just for the form. Where do we get that? Credentials, domain, username, password, authorize, ID name, provider's credentials, ID name. Okay, that's not it. This is what you have tried. Let me have a look. Yeah, I mean, no, the problem is not the get session. Get session works as expected. The problem now is that next-auth does not put the full, so it doesn't put the full user object into the session. It only puts email property that we have and then empty image and name fields that we don't even have. Like, I don't know where they come from. And how do you define that? Type ORM, SEO, pages. No, that's not what we want. Return ID, name, image, email. How do I define those properties? Those guys are using callbacks. I mean, I'm fine with using callbacks. The problem is, where's my ID? Callback session ID resolved from a session. I already have to put it in myself. Like, come on, seriously. There's gotta be a way to define those, right? This is just silly. JVT session. I mean, I don't like the idea of doing it manually, but oh boy, why do you have to be like this? So callback, sign in session, JVT, token user account. Okay, so there's sign in callback. Use sign in callback to control if a user is allowed to sign in. So where's this serialization happen? Session callback is called whenever a session is checked. Hey, Viable Clan member, welcome to the stream. All right, so let's try to figure this out. JVT callback. Call whenever JSON web token is created. Okay, so I guess we can just do it here, which still feels like absolute bullshit, but how is that like? Okay, you know what? Let's try to give it a JVT callback and see what it actually... Is that where it assigns those random values? Okay, console log token user, right? So those are the two things that we care about. Again, kill everything, relog in, sign in, check Discord. Okay, callback session first, target session object. So you can take. I mean, I understand how that works. It's just like there's got to be a better way, and it does set those additional fields somewhere, right? So there's got to be a way. So it's not even executed. Where's my log? Do I have to restart it? You're not updated. Like, my problem is that it does set those additional properties, name and image, that we don't have in our model, but they are still getting set somewhere. It's like I just want to override those and set like my fields instead of that. It's like, is that too much to ask? Anyway. Sign in. Are we getting our console log now? No, we are not. It's not even getting called. What? Okay then. How does this work? Okay then. So the hell do I do now? Hey Landon, welcome to the stream. All right, so let me try to see. So what if we go to sesh? Wait a second. I don't like that. Oh, it's in the callbacks. Am I not doing it in the right thing? I guess that should be not in the credential. Or is it in credentials or is it just a separate? Wait a second. Callbacks. So is it like here? Or am I just doing it in the wrong place? Is that the problem? Okay, let me see. So we did that, right? So we can now try to relog in again. How long have you been coding? You mean professionally? That's been about 15 years now, I think. Yeah, 14, 15 years or so. 1 hour, 10 minutes. That's a big brain answer. Okay, there we go. But it doesn't even have those fields there. Where do they come from? There you go. It has them here. What is going on? Why, what? Okay, so there's definitely something iffy going on around here. But I guess, since we can just hijack them and say, what did they do? Okay, this is weird. I have to figure it out later on, maybe. If anyone knows why this happens. No, we don't want to. I don't want to hijack session, right? I just want to give it assign it to the token. Or maybe I do want to do the token. So, call whenever session is checked. So when the session is checked, we get the session user and session token. Man, I guess we don't really care. Do we care about user getting the ID in the client? I guess not. I guess you're right. We can just do the session. That feels just like, why is this a thing? Okay, let's try this. So we got the session thing, resolve session, console log session user, right? So we got this stuff. Okay, let's try this. So theoretically, if I refresh this, we should actually get the session token, right? Yeah, there you go. Okay, you know what? Let me just, so this is our clean stuff. Let us reload that. I'm so confused where those fields are coming from. Tests, login, there we go. Where are they added from? Why is this a thing? James, thank you so much. Holy shit, that is quite a donation. Thank you so much, man. This is highly appreciated. This is awesome. Okay, so I am... Name and image are still coming from... You know what? Let's just deep dive in here. Let's just go and see where the name is coming from. I am so confused right now. Where are those coming from? Search bar, leave. Okay, so adapters. There we go. We got the adapters and they mention names. Database, where's the name coming from? Map, name, ID. Okay, so those are some terribly formatted markdown. I'm 13 and I have been coding for a year. Well, you know, keep it up. I've started coding like as a thing that I basically liked when I was, what was it, 7? I did absolutely terrible things in the beginning, but it was so much fun. And then, you know, I just kept going basically and ended up making kind of a career out of it, I guess. So yes, don't stop. Just, you know, build stuff that you think is fun. Hey, Pego, welcome to the stream. All right, let us try to find out where this name is coming from. I am still incredibly confused by it. Okay, let's see. You know what? Let's just go into the source code because I think of the... So we're using the credentials provider, right? Maybe it's coming from it. Let's try to read this code. Right. This provider does nothing. Okay, then. I guess it just bootstraps what the code does, right? So it's like the blank thingy. Okay, async token. So token to verify. So this is like token, get token. All right, so this is just your basic JVT stuff. Adapters? Can it be from adapters? User model session JVT. Okay, so you're saying it should come from the user model. All right, so this, I guess... this is... No, this is... So those are the adapters. Right, so this is not what we want. Client. Is it in client? Next-auth, blah, blah, blah. Window. Keep alive. Okay, let me just search for name. No, it's not here. Okay. Server. Lib. Okay, providers, auth, sign in, callback handler. You're saying user model session and then JVT. Like the problem is we don't really, but we don't use type ORM model. That's the thing. We don't use it, right? Like we don't have, like I guess we're using the Mongo adapter question mark, but that would mean like I'm passing the database URL, which is a Mongo URL to it, but why does it use type ORM? Oh, okay, so it's still a type ORM, it's just they use it for Mongo. Okay, got it. Okay, where is that get user? ID, object ID. Okay, so if it doesn't have get user by email, date user, delete user, link account. Where's this name and image coming from? It's just driving me nuts. I just can't. Name. Okay, this is a config name, error name, profile name, profile email. There. Why are they hard coded? Why is this a thing? Okay, you know what? Right, I don't even care. I just check. I mean, they are hard coded. We found the line. I don't care about this. You know, I'm just gonna store it in section. User. Can I just do that? Can I just override it? Is that gonna work? Console, let me see. Console log. So I'm gonna session user first. And then I'm gonna log session again just to see what... Can I just do that? Just override it with my own user? Because it's just... But the user we get here... Oh, God. Oh, no. So it's not the same user we actually... So the user we get in session is already the one that is basically stripped of everything. So this is not what we want. Oh, no. Why does it have to be like this? Okay, so where sign in? Promise resolve, okay. Do you use P5.js? I haven't actually tried P5.js to be honest, so I am not extremely proficient with it. Add new key my user or something. But I mean, the problem is that I have to set this key, like it doesn't matter my user or other user, right? Or do you think it's just not overrides it? Is that the problem? It's just, oh, okay. No, but that's still, it's still, like it did override the user. Still, the user itself is wrong. That's my problem. But I think that user is actually coming from JVT callback, to be honest. So let me do this. Let me grab the JVT thing. I think this user is coming from the JSON Web Token serialization, basically. There's our token and user, right? And if I refresh that, right, so this is, so I think the session gets the user from token. This is why we're not seeing the right data here, because it gets generated during the token generation. So if I were to relog in now, we should see that callback from JVT with the right user. There we go. So the JVT generation actually has access to the full user object, which is correct, which means that we have to modify. So I guess what is the token here? Name. Yeah, so this is the token generation is what basically does this weird stuff for some reason. Let's have a look at the source code. Wait a second. Where is the JVT? So it's the JVT. Maybe they have some config for it or something. Wait a second. Whoa, that's too much closing. Is there a JVT? Wait a second. JVT docs. Is there a JVT docs here? Maybe I'm just missing some fields. Secret encryption, encode, decode. Doesn't seem like there's any configs here. So it allows to provide the helper or whatever. Secret cookie name raw. Right. So it doesn't seem like you can provide any. I guess our own. Yeah, this is just a bit silly, but whatever. That's fine. So you can say that basically, okay, so the token is gonna have, copy that. I mean, technically we could just put the whole user in there, but I don't want to paste password because it's just a bit annoying. Token is gonna be, all right, you know what? Let's just do it this way. So we're gonna say that password, and then it's gonna be token user, right, from user. So we're just going to extract that, drop the password, and we can probably drop this v thing as well because we don't need it. And then token is going to be equal to token. Oh, I guess we can just we don't even need token right now. We need token user. So let me just console log token user and token, just to be sure that it actually doesn't add anything else to the token. Subscribe. Well, I hope you find something useful, man. You know, I typically stream a bit more advanced things, but, you know, if you have any questions, do feel free to join our Discord as well and ask there. That's always more than happy to chat with people who just start and help you with your questions or guide you in the right way, basically. Cannot destructure property password of user as it is undefined. Aha. What if we do it like this? Okay. Obviously, all right, because if there's no user, it's not gonna destruct correctly, which is perfectly fine. And then this is gonna be, so I guess we need to do that. So if there is, I guess we could simplify it, right? So we can just say, if there is no user, then we just return token, whatever the framework basically provides, right? And if there is a user, we destruct it, destructure. keep saying the wrong word, I'm too used to that. JVT user object is not empty, only on login. Yeah, I mean, that's the thing, right? We're not logged in right now. So, okay, there we go. We now got our ID. Cool. That took way longer than it should have, but that's fine. So we don't actually need this session callback. Which means that now in this new thing, we should get the session, and the session should actually have the right user. Try it. Yes. No. How? Why? Oh, no. Wait a second. Do we still need to hijack the session as well? Is that a thing? Oh, no. Okay, let me see. So let me reload. So we now should see the session. Right, so I guess we have to monkey patch user to override it with our user because the session has the old user somehow again. Don't use JVT. We cannot not use JVT because it was complaining last time that we need JVT. So if I disable it, like if you just do that, the last time it was like, hey, you need to enable JVT for XYZ to work. So let me just clear the storage, but we can try it. Okay, let's see. I mean, last time it's just I enabled it because it complained saying that, hey, you need JVT for... There you go. That was the error last time. It says sign in with credentials only supported if JSON web tokens are enabled. So there you go. So if you want to use credentials, you have to have JVT enabled. But that's fine. I mean, we can monkey patch the user. That's not a big deal. It's annoying that you have to do this, but you know, there's no better way essentially of doing that, but that's fine. We can work with that. Okay, do that. Relogin. I think that should start working now. Hopefully the config refreshed. Yes, it did. Okay, cool. So if we monkey patch it now, we should see the right... There we go. Session user is now correct. Okay. That took way longer to do than it should have been. Okay, so we got user over here, right? Which means that we can import the project. We can, so try this. Okay, so create new project, name user, user ID, project save, JSON. Okay, project to object. So we send the objectified project and then we kill that. And I think this should actually create the new project. Have you ever used Firebase? Yes, I've used Firebase in a couple of small-ish projects when I didn't want to create my own backend, like for emails gathering or whatever. And it's a nice little thing. Okay, so this, why is it okay true? Are we not refreshed? That still seems... oh, project cannot resolve source DB. Oh, right. That is because this is not correct. There we go. That should work, right? There we go. Okay, cool. So reload that. Okay. New project, create, and there's our project. We got ID, we got the user. Perfect. So this now works, which means what we need to do after that is close our model, right? So wait, that's set model open to false. So we close the model, and we also need to do what? We need to say that project name ref current value equals to reset the value, basically, right? Okay, probably we don't need so many variables. We can just do that. We also don't need to save the result because we don't care about it that much. Okay. I guess let's commit that. That sounds like a good point to commit something. Oh, right. I'm not even in the right folder. There we go. Git status. Okay, git diff. That is a ton of changes, but that is fine. Okay, git add. Okay, add basic model for projects creation, right? This is what we did. And wait a second. And add basic 3-column layouts. I think I did not commit the layout as well, right? Yes, okay, yeah. So we did the layouts here too. Okay, I should have committed the layout separately, but that's fine. Good luck with the school. Yeah, the videos are available on YouTube, so, you know, feel free to watch the VODs and just ask questions either in comments or join the Discord, as I said. Okay. So we did that. This now works. Now we need to actually load our projects, right? So I'm pondering if I should... I mean, I guess the sidebar, literally the only function of the sidebar is showing the projects. So we're going to do it here. And before we do that, we should do the Reduxios thing. Is Reduxios, right? Yes. Firebase probably the good way to handle auth. I mean, Firebase has a lot of different good APIs, but you essentially, you know, if you start using it, you gotta go all in. And it's not super cheap. Like, it's not... Whoops. It's not that expensive, but it's not cheap either. So I would only use it if you see that your use case basically fits, you know, the Firebase, and you know that you won't be paying exorbitant amounts of money just because you choose it for simplicity, basically, you know. Okay, Axios. So basically has the same API as Axios, right? If I remember correctly. So we can just, right, where's our fetch? Where did we do fetch? We need this, we need, okay, only 2 places, that's great. So we need the registration and login. Means that we can import Axios from Redaxios. And then what we do is post URL data. Okay, that is a lot more convenient. Axios. Okay, so method post URL. And then we just say data, right? So that, yeah, that is a lot nicer to work with. Where's my Axios? Why did you remove it? God damn it. Axios from Redaxios, yes. Okay, and then do I need to do the JSON thing? Oh, I guess I can just do axios.post, right? Post, and then URL, and then data. And I think that's basically all I really need to do. Okay, that's a lot nicer. I have used Axios quite some time ago, so I don't remember all the methods. You're gonna have to bear with me while I refresh my memory here. Axios.post, and how do I, does it automatically get JSON, or do I need to manually get it from it? JSON? Okay, it's default. Okay, so I don't even need that anymore. That is super nice. Okay. Yep, that's a lot of saved code. Okay, cool, perfect. That's actually amazing. Hey me, welcome to the stream. What do you do when you have release tomorrow and your project has stupid silly bugs and it's late that your brain doesn't work? I mean, sleep and then do it in the morning? Yeah. That's at least what I would do, because if my brain doesn't work, there's no way in the hell that I'm gonna do anything productive this day. Okay, so we did that. Then we don't need any of this. You didn't, like, you missed. So we have added the 3-column layout. We've added the basic projects rendering. We added projects creation, and now adding projects. We'll be adding projects loading. Okay, let me think. Axios from Redaxios. Yes, thank you very much. Okay. Now, right, loading the projects. This is what we need. Okay, so first of all, project, I guess list. Let's call it list. Or I guess let's call it all. That would be better. Okay, this is, so we need the user, right? And what we need is projects. Await project find. So we just find whatever projects has our current user. And then just send them back. And then we're going to make it lean so that they are JSON right away. What is used for DB? The DB is the Mongo as usual. So it's, you know, the straightforward way of doing things. Okay, that's... I really like how easy it is to set up API like this with, what do you call it? With Next.js. Like, this is extremely convenient. Carlos, sorry, wait, so the JVT saved on the client side has the user email and encrypted password. No, it doesn't have the password. We dropped it, right? But it does have the email. But I mean, it is your own token, so it's... Email is not exactly the super sensitive information, so I think it's fine. Right, I probably shouldn't close that, but we're fine with that. Okay, so we did this. Right, I forgot to start it. npm run dev. Okay, restart that. Okay, so we did the projects, find it by user, get all that stuff. Yes, that is fine. Okay, so now we need to load the projects here. So we import Axios from Redaxios. I guess we can use the whole okay, I forgot the Next.js. So Next.js has this helpers that allow you to prefetch the data, right? So this is exactly what we want to do. What's the difference between project create versus project save? Project save, I mean, not much. It's just the sugar, right? So you can use, depending on what you want. I think there's also some difference with the way the middlewares work, if I remember correctly. But yeah, better refer to the documentation for the mongoose because I don't remember on top of my head. I typically tend to use the .save method of doing it. Reduxios is a smaller, like 800 bytes version of Axios that works only on the modern browser, so it doesn't have like a lot of polyfills. Data fetching, there we go. We want, yes, gets, so we don't want static props. We already did that somewhere. What do we want? We want the get initial props, right? Oh, but I can only do this on the pages, right? Yeah, okay, you know what? That's fine. We can use effect. We can do use effect here. That's fine. Okay. Effect. We're gonna run it only once, and then we're gonna do the Axios get API projects all. Await. Okay, const projects, right? So just that. Right, and we need a list of projects, right? Projects. Set projects, so that's gonna be use state, so it's our state. Yeah, okay. Server projects. Okay, set projects. We actually need to re-trigger it. No, sorry, server projects, right? So we need to re-trigger our use effect thing once we add the new projects. We're gonna get to that in a second. Okay, so let me think. So projects map is what I want to do. Project. And we're going to do this and then just say, okay, key is project ID and then project is project. So that's all good. That's super simple. Theoretically, that actually should already render. No, it doesn't. Cannot, what? Project map is not, oh, right, because, that's fine, okay, you're right. So what is going on? Network, oh, right, I know what's going on. Because I need to deconstruct the response, right? So there we go, I think that should fix it. We're good now. Param import next API request param, what is that? Put this before the API handler to enable IntelliSense. Next API. Oh, but that's fine. You know what? I don't mind not having the IntelliSense basically. So it's like I'm not extremely obsessed with it. Okay, so there's the projects. So we do get the project. So what is going on? Console log. Okay. Response, right? There's our response. Okay, from response. So what is happening now? Reload this. Config. Oh, right, because it's probably right. So this has to be body, and then it has to be projects, which, okay, so I need to change my other thing as well, but I guess it doesn't matter because I don't actually use any of that. Okay, I think that should make it work. Nope. Now what? Okay, what am I missing again? I probably screwed up something myself again. We got the body and then const from body. Are we working now? Data, not body. Is it data? Oh, body is the stream. Okay, thank you. Right, I haven't worked with Axios in years, probably, if I think about it. Like last time I used it was 2018 or something. There we go. Okay, that looks like absolute shit, but it does work. Okay, let's tweak the rendering a bit. So I'm gonna take the first to upper. I'm just gonna use basically. You know what? We're gonna create a new helper function, const to first letters, right? Name, and then we're basically gonna say name splits by spacebar. Map word to first. I mean, I guess I can just do that, right? And then we just join it and return. I mean, yeah, I can just return that. So there we go. That will give us the first letters. Give us the first capitalized letters of the project. There we go. Cool. And then we probably should say that the title is project name, so that we can actually hover over and see the full project name. There we go. Cool. That actually works as expected. Right, so now we're rendering the projects correctly. Now the problem is when we add the new project over here, right? We have to somehow give it to the parent, which is this thing. So we need this on new project. CSS. I mean, yeah, we could do it with CSS, but that's fine for now. We can, I mean, I think ideally we want to have icons there, but I just don't want to spend time on doing this now. We first flesh out the overall functionality and then do the design part of it, basically. So let's handle new project. So basically this is going to be our new project handler, right? Project, and is going to do something to that new project. I mean, I guess it's not really something, const new project. What we want to do is basically say project and then projects that we have right now, and then we just set projects, new projects, right? So that's basically all we want to do, really. Now the problem is we need to right, probably should rename it to not overshadow stuff. There we go. Why are you complaining? Oh, okay, formatting. Right, so now we need to add on this on new project thingy that actually now we need to get this data from here, right? Yep. And this data is gonna be, we need to say on new project data something. Oh, what did we return from the project new? I don't remember, to be honest. Data, okay, project. Okay, so it's just data I mean, I guess we can just do that. Right. There we go. Okay, I think that should do it. So let's give it a shot. I think that should actually finish our project creation. Hey, it works. Okay, obviously it's not sorted actually. I think it actually should go to the end, right? Okay, so they should be sorted in reverse order. So when we do it here, that should be, that's actually easier. So we can just do projects, concat with that, and we're good. Okay. So, okay. Another creates. There we go. That works. And now the projects are all correctly sorted. I think we should style the ads a bit differently. Button, so where's my button here? So let's make it a bit darker maybe to make it somehow distinct from all the others. Still looks like absolute shit, but it now works. So that's good. Okay, cool. Git ads. So we have added git commit add basic projects loading. There we go. Okay, cool. Health component should trigger fetching all projects from the API. Well, that's where we're going to get to that once we set up the global state, because we're going to have to do it at one point. But for now, that's fine. And actually, the way we currently done it works a lot nicer than just fetching it from backend, because you get the feedback immediately, right? So it's like it's purely client side. The moment you click on that save button, the moment you get the project back, you get it added to your UI, so it feels a lot faster and a lot snappier. But in theory, yes, you should first add it in the client side and then trigger refetch to actually reload the new stuff and check if anything else changed, you know. But anyway, for now, that's perfectly fine. Okay, cool. So that was quite productive. So we did the first part of it, and that kicked me out, but that's perfectly fine. I think that would be it for today's stream. So next time, we're going to start on building the task list thingy, and probably would get to building the text part with the task description and stuff itself. And we're going to see how that goes. I mean, I don't know if the Next.js API would be enough in the end to, you know, to basically build the whole thing. Maybe we'll have to migrate to something like GraphQL in the end. I'm still not sure what will be easier, but we're going to see. Like, we're slowly getting there function-wise, and yeah. I mean, it's not the... Again, it still looks like absolute ass, but you know, we're gonna, if we get any nice design from somewhere, we're gonna implement it and make it look a lot nicer and basically show you what you can do with Tailwind if we get there. All right, guys, do you have any questions or suggestions or things you want to discuss? Because if not, we can just wrap it up here and go do something else. I guess that will be a nice spot to stop. Let me just decrease all the sizes because everything is way too big for me to work on. But yes, the source code as usual is available on GitHub. So we got the 7 commits, the whole 7 commits. That is a lot for the stream pages. Whole 7 commits are available on GitHub with quite a ton of stuff done today. So it was quite nice. Again, need to update the README probably. But yeah. What are you going to use for state management? I'm not sure yet. We're going to see what we need and basically go from there. I'm probably, maybe just the context would be enough because we literally, the only thing we need to store in state is currently selected project and currently selected task. That's all we want, but we're going to see. Custom logout page in Next.js, next-auth is set incorrectly. Oh, is it? I mean, I might have screwed something up, but we're going to get to that once we start styling them. But yeah. Zustand. Zustand what? Is that the name of the library or are you asking me? Oh, it is a library. Okay, I was like, wait, what? What Zustand? I have not seen this one. Here creates... It looks fine. I mean, I would probably, like, if we need something less complex, I would use, what do you call it? Like, outstated or unstated or something like that, or maybe even just context. If we need something more complex, I would go for the recoil or even X state, but basically we're going to see once we get there and see how much state we actually have to manage. React easy state is okay-ish as well, yeah. So, but I don't really like the way it works with hooks. It's not, unless they change something, because it just doesn't feel like a hook solution basically. Even though it could be one, yeah. So they still have this view thing, which just like, why when you have hooks? It's absolutely unnecessary in my opinion. I just don't like the API. But yeah, we'll basically we'll see once we get there. Recoil is freaking amazing, by the way. So like if you ever needed an average complexity state management, recoil is just bonkers good. Anyway, we'll basically decide once we get there. I think that's a good time to wrap it up. So thank you guys very much for watching. Thank you for your continued support. I hope you enjoyed the stream. Again, we're going to continue next week. I'm going to see how is my time basically. We are nearing the end on the proposal writing, so I might have a lot more time soon-ish. So maybe we do daily streams or something like this. We're going to see. And yeah, just keep an eye on announcements. Join our Discord if you want to chat about any of that. Again, thank you very much for watching. Thank you for your continued support. And I see you next time.